record 20.5 million jobs last month. That makes April the largest single month of job losses since the Bureau of Labor Statistics began tracking the data back in 1939. The unemployment rate soared to 14.7% in April. The last time American joblessness was that severe was the Great Depression. The losses in April follow steep cutbacks in March when employers slashed 870,000 jobs. The number of positive coronavirus cases in Wisconsin is nearing 10,000. Right now, there are 9,381 reported cases in the state. That includes 374 deaths. That's an increase of 45 cases from yesterday. About 48% of those who tested positive have recovered. Yesterday's numbers show that for the fourth straight day, the percent of people who tested positive for COVID-19 has decreased. There were about 1,500 more tests administered yesterday compared to Wednesday. The orange dotted line shows that there is a downward trend, but DHS says the trend has not been significant enough in the past 14 days. Part of Governor Evers' bounce back plan includes meeting criteria for the categories on your screen. DHS data shows that there's been a downward trajectory of influenza-like illnesses reported within a 14-day period, but not a downward trajectory of COVID-like cases. There's also a downward trend of COVID-19 cases among health workers. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says it's released nearly 1,600 inmates since March to help reduce the possibility of spreading the virus. A corrections spokeswoman says most of the inmates released since March 2nd had been detained because they violated terms of their probation, parole, or extended supervision. 20 prisoners across 4 DOC facilities have tested positive for COVID-19, and 24 corrections employees have self-reported testing positive. The Sauk County Fair is being canceled due to the COVID-19 concerns. The fair has been held each year since 1855 and was scheduled for July 6th through the 12th this year. The Agriculture Society says it will work hard to make the 2021 fair, scheduled for July 12th through the 18th, one to remember. Graduation is canceled for many students across the country, but UW School of Medicine and Public Health is still celebrating its students. This morning, a virtual ceremony was held for over 100 grads of the medical degree class. These students will be the first students to go into residencies in a new era of medicine impacted by the pandemic. The White House is taking steps to keep President Trump and Vice President Pence safe after White House personnel have tested positive for COVID-19. This comes after one of the president's personal valets tested positive, along with aide to the vice president. The White House is now changing its testing protocol.
We test once a week. Now we're going to go testing once a day. But even when you test once a day, something happens where they catch something.
President Trump says despite the threat of the virus, America has to get back to work. But in a new poll out this morning, 64% of those surveyed say opening the country now is not worth the risk because it means more lives lost. 34% say it's worth reopening to limit the economic damage. Thanks for watching this special report from Channel 3000.